Boys, welcome back to another Brokowskis video. Here we got the week 14 sleeper starts, and boys, before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe. Every week we're coming out with starts and sits to help you guys win. Also, make sure you hit that like button. We're aiming for 100 likes on this video. Let's just get straight into it.
Our first must-start player of the week is Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill has an amazing matchup against the Jets, who are 24th against quarterbacks. They are also 32nd against running backs, which is kind of important, so it means they're terrible against the run. Taysom Hill is a running quarterback. You know he has that huge rushing upside. He always has tons of rushing attempts. Last game, he had 11 rushes for over 100 yards. He had 20 fantasy points, and he still had 4 interceptions. Take away those interceptions, 28 points. I know you can't do that, but still having 20 points with 4 picks, you know the rushing upside really boosts his numbers, and he didn't even have a rushing touchdown. Against the Jets, we expect him to have a ton of rushing attempts, ton of rushing yards. He's probably going to get a rushing touchdown. He's probably going to have a great week. Last year, in his 4 starts, he averaged over 20 points per game, had over 20 points last game. We think this is a super safe start, super high upside. We love Taysom Hill against the Jets.
Our second sleeper start of the week is Clyde Helaire. We all know Clyde is not the player we drafted. He's not that second round or third round fantasy player, but he should have a good week this week. He's going against the Raiders, who are 30th against running backs. Clyde is splitting with Darrell Williams right now, but you know the Chiefs did not spend a first round pick on this guy to use him as a backup. Last time Clyde versus the Raiders in 2020, he put up over 20 fantasy points, and this year, when Darrell Williams versus the Raiders, he put up over 29. So you know running backs for the Chiefs are always going to score against this Raiders defense. Darrell Williams only got 29 points against this Raider defense because Clyde was injured. Those points are going to go to both running backs, and I think Clyde's going to get in the end zone. He's going to play more snaps. Plus, in the last 2 games, Clyde has averaged over 13 points per game, so he's not a fantasy scrub, and this week you have to start Clyde Helaire.
Our next must-start player of the week is Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry, he hasn't been amazing as of late, but he is coming off a bye week. He's versing Baltimore, who they versed last time they played. Yes, Jarvis Landry has a knee injury, so that's something to be a little cautious about. But he is versing Baltimore, who just lost Marlon Humphrey. That is a huge loss for their secondary. And last game, Baker did not play a good game, but Jarvis still managed to get 10 targets, 6 catches, 111 yards. This Ravens defense should be a lot worse without Marlon Humphrey. We expect Jarvis Landry to benefit a lot from that loss. Since the Browns got rid of Odell, Jarvis is the clear number 1 receiver on this team, and the Ravens should be up in this game, leading to the Browns having to throw. Jarvis should benefit from that, plus Marlon Humphrey not being there. The game is in Cleveland. We think overall Jarvis should have a decent chance to do well this week.
Our fourth must-start player of the week is Jeff Wilson. Let me make this very clear. Only start Jeff Wilson if Elijah Mitchell's ruled out. Right now he's not practicing and it looks like Elijah Mitchell might not play. But if Elijah Mitchell suits up, don't even think about Jeff Wilson. If Elijah Mitchell's out, Jeff Wilson's an actually pretty good start in fantasy. He's going against the 23rd ranked Bengals against running backs. Last year, when Jeff Wilson, the 7 games he started, he averaged over 19 fantasy points per game. You know this guy gets production. When he gets the carries, he actually does do really well in fantasy. There was 1 game he started this year, and he did get 19 carries, but he only got around 7 fantasy points, which is discouraging. But the Bengals are a worse run defense than the Jaguars, and also Jeff Wilson, you got to follow the volume. 19 carries when he's a starter, that's good. If Elijah Mitchell doesn't play, expect close to 20 carries. That usage should make him have some red zone opportunities, and if he can get in the end zone, he's a very solid start for your fantasy team.
And we got one more bonus start here. Julio Jones. Julio Jones has not played in a minute. He is still technically on IR, but I believe the Titans should activate him. He should have a good chance of playing this week. They're versing Jacksonville, who's 26th against receivers, so it's a good matchup. There should be no A.J. Brown, so if Julio is healthy, he should be the clear number 1 pass-catching option on that team. He has shown upside. Week 2 against Seattle, he had 8 targets, 6 catches, 128 yards. So he still is the elite player when he's playing. He hasn't shown it a ton this year, but we know it is there. Like me personally, I have a ton of receivers who are out this week. I'm probably going to be starting Julio. I like the matchup. I think he could have a decent game. So just one extra bonus one here at the end.
And boys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you made it this far, make sure you hit that subscribe. Every week we're coming out with starts and sits. And the fantasy playoffs are coming soon, so you need to be starting the right guys. Also, comment this keyword right here. If you comment it, we'll like and reply to your comment, boys. Thanks so much for opening the video. See y'all later.